Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is MyPreppyDiaries. So yeah, today I will be talking about Forum. Forum is an amazing event which takes place in Quinta, Westry, Shropshire, wherever that is. I think it's like in the middle of was it Wales and Birmingham? If you find it on the map, you know where it is, but it's basically in the middle of nowhere, and there's thousands of acres of land, and there are massive tents built up, and there's food stalls and buildings and lodges, and it's all the way in the countryside. On your journey there, you'll probably see sheep and cows and stuff, and it's just it's an amazing place to be. So basically I went on Forum because I'm a part of my Christian Union committee, and I wanted to be able to basically connect more with my CU, people within my CU and other CUs in the UK, and to just really build myself into becoming a better person on committee, because there are so many things that I need to learn and mature in, and a lot of areas that I have failed to understand in terms of Christianity and being unified as one. But basically in Forum you go through various of talks. You do Bible prayer meetings in the morning, you do gym runs early, you have breakfast and lunch and dinner together, you can get meal passes. I did get meal passes. You can camp if you want to, or you can stay in the lodges. I did that because I'm a bit of a scaredy cat. I don't really like bugs. I don't really like wasps, and a lot of the people that were camping, they often talked about how they got attacked by a wasp outside of their tents in the morning, and I was just I rebuke that. I refuse to go through that. There's probably maybe 5 beds in every room that there is, and you basically stay there with a group of random girls that you don't know, and yeah, you have the showers, and you have your own toilets in the lodges, whereas for people who are camping, they have certain stalls which have showers and toilets. I looked at them and I was no thank you, it doesn't seem very appealing to me. But yeah, the whole experience at Forum was just amazing. There were many speakers. Some came from even the US, and during my time at Forum we were going through the book of Judges, and the story was based on Gideon, the story of Gideon. And yeah, because the topic of Forum this year was about being courageous and being bold in faith, even when it seems your victory is unexpected and your wins are very unpredictable. And I think that's because God has a pattern of always helping the underdogs, and I like to believe that I am one, because a lot of people, when they look at me, they always tend to underestimate me, and so that kind of makes me a bit happy, because I'm gonna allow God to prove them for me that I'm so much more special and so much more powerful, so much more intriguing than what meets the eye. And so, not that I'm trying to look or appear a certain way, but yeah, I've been constantly undermined, belittled, and underestimated most of my life. So I just find it really funny how God he makes a path for me to win. And yeah, it's just beautiful, and it's just great, because in the beginning you would have never thought that the ending would appear the way it did. And so yeah, I just find it so beautiful. In terms of Forum, was okay, so they do a lot of talks, and you can pick how many ever you want, and some of the talks there are specifically allocated for people who are in their committee, and it is designated for them to kind of find out what exactly it is within their sector, whether you're doing science or law. What is it exactly that you would like to challenge yourself in knowing, to help people within your area of study of knowing, you know, and kind of expressing the Bible boldly in law, humanities, arts, whatever it may be, and just kind of giving that open space. One of the talks I did go to was science. It was really cool because a lot of times, like, you can say whatever it is, you can give your testimony to people, but sometimes people, all they really want is like definitive answers that kind of direct you straight to God, that okay, like this happened and this was actually God's doing. Like there's no, science can't even explain it, like, you know. But I also feel like at the same time, science does explain a lot of God's creation, you know, and it illustrates them in the most beautiful way. And so yeah, I was really happy to partake those sessions with those girls and the people that I've met, even though I'm no longer a science student. Oh yes, we had so many events that we did cross-stitching, there was a songwriting session, I made my own song, just only the chorus, of course. Maybe in the future I'll make it known to others, but for now I'm probably gonna just keep it to myself, even though I've been strongly encouraged to make it known to everyone, but I think for now I'm just gonna keep it to myself because I'm a bit shy. And so we also had like bonfire night, we had silent disco, we had Kaylee, which I've never done before. We do Scottish dancing, and we were like in the sports hall, and they did another Kaylee where we did it outside the tents near the Scottish area, because where you camp up there's like designated spaces for wherever you come from. So if you live in the Midlands, if you live in Edinburgh, if you live in York, like there's like wherever your university is in the UK, there will be a designated space for all universities from that specific area to remain in. And so that was really cool. What else did occur? There were so many fun events. I can't remember it all, but I'll probably just like list it in the video. But like we did so many fun things together. But I think one of my biggest, takeaway from being in Forum was that I actually learned how to like trust in people. So I think I mentioned this a few times on my channel that I'm quite skeptical of others, and coming into Forum I was quite scared because I knew a few people from the other London universities, but I wasn't as close to them. And so I was just like, I felt like I was coming in a bit alone, but I ended up meeting so many people, having so many experiences, and gaining so much love that I never thought I would experience. And every single time like I was there, like even the people there, they were saying like, I'm actually forgetting, like I'm in a room full of Christians, like every single person, every single time you woke up to like a Christian like sleeping beside, on your way to breakfast there was a Christian walking. Like we were seeing living and breathing Christians like walking all around us, and they were like so zealous, they were so on fire for God. And it was so encouraging to see young people who were just full on fire for him, because I feel like often in this day and age it feels like everybody just cares about materialistic things, and people are just very shallow and they don't care about our Father in heaven anymore, and all of our traditional values that we, you know, cared for so much, they've kind of like been shifted away. And so it was nice to see people have like a strong passion to regain Christ back into their lives, and not just for themselves, but like to encourage others to be a witness to his goodness as well. So that was pretty amazing. I actually forgot where I went off because the camera cut off. But yeah, coming into Forum, I felt like a bit of an imposter, because prior to coming in there, I wasn't really dwelling in the secret place of God. I was kind of isolating myself from all my friends, and most of them are Christians, and so part of me felt like I shouldn't even be there around Christians or even talk to my Christian friends, because they would notice the absence of God's presence in me, and that really made me upset. And each and every single time like the date was getting closer to Forum, I was like, okay, I need to pray so no one notices. And finally the day comes, and I'm experiencing so much joy and love from all these Christians, and all the shame and guilt that I had about not being this perfect person, because I feel like sometimes I do kind of perform, and I wasn't sure at the time whether I was performing or not. I just knew I had felt a lot of shame and guilt about my own personal relationship with Christ, and how I wanted that to be rectified before coming in. But being around those Christians, whether they were like a part of the staff, whether they was like speakers or whomever, seeing them like love me regardless, just like how Christ did, just opened up my heart much more than it had ever been opened. Because like, again, I am still quite skeptical of others, and I feel like, as humans we can tend to be quite fickle, and I never know how people are going to respond to how I maneuver and how I operate under certain conditions. Some people may have more patience for me than others, and others won't. And so I always feel like the need to be like very independent and just always seem as though I'm doing great on my own, so that nobody ever has to worry about me. I was learning a lot more about being interdependent during my stay at Quinta, which was really cool. Like, just being around all of those Christians, like, it lit up my world. Like, my heart was so warm, and it felt like it had been hardened for so long, which was kind of confusing because I felt like I had already opened my heart to Jesus. But I think maybe I opened my heart to Jesus, but I didn't open my heart to anybody else. And so I was thankful that they enabled me to do that, and they enabled me to, be able to talk about my weaknesses and not see them as flaws, because I often do that. I grew up thinking that if you cried, if you do anything to make you seem weak, that it would be very easy for someone to target you. And I was targeted multiple times, even when I did show my stance, and even when I did show I was strong, I was still belittled, still underestimated. And so it was quite revolutionary for me what I had experienced in Forum. It opened my eyes wider into, accepting more people into my circle, because my circle is quite small. But at the same time, like, don't block your blessings, especially when God is giving you people that are necessary for the next chapters of your life. Like, don't push them away, because they're here for a reason, and it's God that's bringing them to your attention. And so use them however God wants you to, and whether they will remain or not is okay. Like, I always grew up with people always ending up leaving my side, and I grew accustomed to it, like, even growing up with having like an absent father. So I grew up very independent. Like, I was always like, okay, fine, I just have to adapt to this situation. I'll just always have to push through, and it's okay, like, it doesn't matter. But it does, because it makes you a bit bitter, and you have a bit of resentment towards people, and you end up not wanting to utilize the people around you, and not seeing that you can depend on others. And I thought it was always rational and logical approach, because I could always depend on myself and know that, okay, if I don't do well, at least I can blame myself, it's fine. But I don't want to ever feel upset because I couldn't depend on somebody else. I'd rather be upset at myself than someone else. It's a weird way of thinking, but it felt the most rational to me, because I have this great sense of always taking responsibility. Yeah, I'm just very thankful for what I had experienced at Forum. It was just a very beautiful experience. I really loved the people that I met there. I sometimes kind of felt like a celebrity there, because a lot of the staff workers, they kept saying my name, and I was just like, what? I was like, how do you know me? I don't even talk to people like that. Like, what's going on? Like, they just kept saying my name, and I was like, hi, and I was just like, how do you know my name? Like, what? I don't think I've had a conversation with you yet. But again, oh my gosh, I felt so sorry about this, but I was supposed to vlog my time during that Forum, but I was having so much fun. I was so in the moment, I was so in there, like, I just forgot about like taking pictures and videos. I did end up taking a video later on, but they weren't as good, so I'm probably just going to ask other people for their videos so that I can insert it here. But yeah, I just had a very glorious time there. It was amazing. It was absolutely gorgeous. You know, the area, it felt so fresh. It was so different from London air, and I was so thankful for it. I was like, oh, away from like gloomy London. It's just amazing. But yeah, what I feel most sorry about, other than like the vlogging, was the fashion. Because if you actually not, let me not. But like, if you were there, you would have seen me. I was on point with the fashions. And so I might probably do another video, like it's gonna be a very short one. I'll just show exactly what I was wearing for Forum from day 1 to the last day. I think it was like day 5, because it's only like 5 days. I wish it was much longer, but I think for some other people it was kind of wild, because like the whole entire day you're packed with so many activities and talks to do. So but yeah, I was in it with the fashions. I might show one picture of what I was wearing, and then like in the next video I'll just show you everything I was wearing. But for day 1 and the last day, day 5, my clothing was a bit similar. I was trying to be like Sasha for that day. Like, remember when in Bratz, I forgot if it was the movie or the series, but they went to like this performing arts camping trip, and they did like a performance, and there was like this ballerina, and like Sasha and the ballerina, they were like competing amongst each other. Was it Fashion Pixie? No, it's not Fashion Pixie. No. I think it was in the series. But yeah, like, you know, Sasha likes to wear a lot of brown tones, and so yeah, I was wearing like this fluffy Borgo kind of sweater, and then I was wearing like this cream top, and then I had like brown cargo shorts, and I had these laced up combat boots with long socks, because I always wear socks, and I was wearing my hosiery from Sheer Chemistry, which I really recommend for all the black girls. I might do like a specific video on it. It's gonna be very short, but Sheer Chemistry, guys, black girls, everyone, like if you ever feel like you've never been able to wear like tights that are like tinted perfectly for your skin tone, please go to Sheer Chemistry. Apparently they're now doing like dance tights for younger girls, so people who do ballet, jazz, whatever you name it. So that's pretty cool. I'll actually link them in the bio. I think I have a pamphlet of theirs, but if you want to know if you are going to buy anything from Sheer Chemistry, if you are a size small, I suggest that you either get medium or large. I get large now, because whenever I got size small, ladders were created a bit more quickly, and like I bought so many tights from them because of like the ladders, and I felt like it was so easy for like the tights to rip, and so I had to be very gentle with them, which is why I ended up always getting a large, because I could get more use out of them. So it's still quite tight, like you won't feel like, oh, it's too big for you, but yeah, for like the convenience of not having to continuously buy the tights over and over again, I suggest buying at least 2 sizes bigger than yours, or just 1 size. Yeah, and you can buy their pamphlet, and they have like different like colors, so you can just test it on your skin, on your legs or your arms, to see which color is the best for you. So I think mine's is Rio Romance, kind of between toffee type, caramel, golden type skin tones, and that's mine. Or sometimes my skin tone does differ, so like even wearing, I think was the other one, there's a color that's darker than Rio Romance. I forgot what it was, but I did purchase it, and it's still like, it was still similar to my skin tone, but it made me a lot darker than I am. So if you are like if your skin tone is quite similar to mine, I suggest going for Rio Romance. They have their tights, some of their tights are a bit more shiny, some of them are matte, and then they have one which has like shorts included into it, so like it's like fitted in, and so you would probably wear that if you were like wearing a dress, or like maybe wearing a skirt. But if your skirt is it's like a mini skirt, I suggest wearing the ones without the shorts, so that it doesn't appear, because that can be quite annoying. Or you just have to pull them all the way up, so it looks more like it's like a pair of like knickers. but again, no one's going to see it, so yeah. But I think that's all I have to say about Forum. I kind of went on a tangent because I was talking about other things, but yeah, in the video, I don't know how long this is going to be, but I will include pictures that I did take from my stay at Forum, and other pictures that others did take at Forum, and videos, because we had a bonfire night. I think bonfire night was like one of the best things that ever occurred. They were so beautiful, like we were just all around the fire, and some of us got to get like sticks and put marshmallows in them, and bonfire is wild. They're like blazing hot, like it's ridiculously hot, and we're just all singing prayers of worship, and like and we had like prayer marches, and we're just like worshiping around the tents and around like the acres of land, and we're just like rejoicing in God's love, and it was just so spectacular. Like the whole entire experience, it just seemed so rewarding, you know. And I felt like, even though the downside of Forum, I guess you could say, is the price, but other than that, like I feel like it's so worth it. Like it's so worth it. Like every single amount of money that I put into going to this trip was like it was just worth it. All of it was worth it. But yeah, like it was just amazing, and it was really cool, and I just hope that Christians who do like kind of look for Forum and want to know what it's like, that you do watch this and that you are encouraged, because you never know what it would look like for you and how that would entail. And for me, it was wonderful. And just take it from me, someone who's always skeptical of others, someone who's always constantly being wary of others. Like my first day, like it stopped immediately, because I was just like, I was surrounded by so much goodness. I was surrounded by so many good people. Like there was no one that was like full of any animosity or hatred or like anger or like aggressiveness. Everyone was just like very peaceful and kind with one another. And so I hope that you get to experience what I did too, because it was just like a blissful experience. But not gonna lie, on my way back home from from Forum back to London, I was quite sleepy. I kept waking up because I was thinking, is someone gonna take videos of me? Someone's gonna do something to me, you know, because I'm like quite conscious around people, especially if I'm traveling and I feel like I'm very tired. And I kept being reminded, like I'm around Christians, like no one's gonna do anything spooky or weird to me. And so yeah, that was really cool. Also, please do bring medicine. I did not realize this until I came there, but I think I have hay fever because I kept getting teary every morning, like my eyes were watering. And so get hay fever medication before you come. Also get medication if you are like me and you get a bit queasy when you're like on the coach for motion sickness. And other than that, just like bring your Bibles, bring your notebooks, bring your instruments if you have some. Like come along with your friends, and even if you don't have friends, like make friends there. Just experience God with so many other Christians, you know. Even if you feel like an imposter at times, like that will change once you're there. So yeah, that's all I have to say. And yeah, please subscribe, like, share, and if you want, follow me on my Instagram. I don't really like to promote my social media, but I feel like I should. I keep saying this in every video, like, oh, I really don't like the internet. So yeah, please like follow me on my Instagram. It is at MyPreppyDiaries, and yeah, I'll see you there. You can talk to me on there, we can interact, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, please like the pictures if you like them. If you don't, then you don't. Comment if you want. It's no biggie. But yeah, thank you and goodbye.